Hey everybody, I'm Dee from higherlove.net, and I have another twin flame reading for you. And I'm just gonna dive right into it. I was pulling cards for myself, and I was checking in on the energies of my union. And as I was pulling the cards, I realized that this wasn't just for me. Nothing is ever just for you. We're all connected, obviously. And so I decided to stop my reading before I was done with it and share it. And the first few cards that I have already pulled, I pulled very soon first. This is an exciting card, obviously, because it's kind of saying, union will happen soon, that kind of thing. It is an urgent energy, but I kind of want to disregard the very soon part, because when you're working with tarot oracle cards, you can't just take them at face value. As exciting as this card is, and I'm not saying union is not coming soon for me or for you, I'm just saying, when it comes to reading cards, it's better to take the essence, because otherwise you can kind of get trapped in superficial meanings. I want to focus on this bottom part, which says, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And once I read that, it kind of was a little bit of a slap in the face, to be really honest. Because, and I'm kind of slap you in the face a little bit too. Because the thing is that we have free will. We create our own realities. And our twin flame is us. So when you combine those three things, you really don't have any excuse to not be in union. Obviously, there's a lot of healing work. There's a journey. There's a process to it. There's divine order and all this stuff. Yes. However, when this card came up, at first I got excited about the very soon part, but then it's kind of like a half and half thing. There's the excitement, and then there's the constructive criticism. I also want to say, if you're ever getting a reading from someone and it's just all rainbows and smiles, I'd be a little weary. And if it's all doom and gloom and trying to scare you, I'd also be weary. A good reading will always be honest, and true honesty is pointing you towards love and light. So there will always be love and light and happiness at its core, but it will also be pointing out to you where you are out of alignment with that, so you can heal it. Just focusing on your problems and just focusing on love and light is not a good reading. It should be both. So very soon is very exciting. And then there's clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So we have all the power in the world to manifest our union, because our twin flame is us. We are them. You can hear that a bunch of times and you know it. You get it in theory, but what does that really mean? It means you can choose to be in union whenever you'd like to. You are already in union. Obviously, you're just releasing the illusion that you aren't. However, you can't blame anything or anyone outside of you for the fact that you're not with your twin flame. Because once you are ready and in full alignment with that choice, it will have no choice but to manifest. So the only reason it's not manifesting is because you are not actively working through your blocks. If you're not seeing active progress on your journey, you're not actively working through your blocks. And I'm not pointing fingers or trying to make anyone feel bad, because my own journey has seemed to have kind of stagnated for a little bit. And, but since I'm like really happy in my life and I'm like living my life purpose, I have good friends, my family is great, and I love my cat and like my life, I kind of just let the fact that I have a twin flame kind of fall by the wayside, even though my business revolves around twin flames. You know, I'm so happy and content. I kind of, just for a little bit, it kind of fell to the back burner. And that's why this card came up, because it's like, you can have your twin flame very soon. You can have your union very soon if you clearly decide that that's actually what you want. I don't think a lot of us, you know, we all say we want our twin flames, we all say we want our unions, but what if you woke up tomorrow and your twin flame is in your bed and you had to figure out how to share your life with this person? Granted, they are you, so it won't be difficult, but I'm just saying, don't underestimate the fact that your life will change. Just because your twin flame is you doesn't mean you coming into union won't create massive change in your life, and you have to be ready for this change. I hope this is not my subconscious talking. I honestly just find this shirt humorous. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. You might feel on the surface that you're so ready, but deep down inside of you, there's a part of you going, I can't. I really just can't. Like, I can't deal with that. I couldn't handle having my perfect dream love. It sounds silly, but it's like a panic button goes off. And the next card I pulled, because I thought to myself, why have the brakes why did I kind of hit the brakes? What am I afraid of? Why would I be resistant to moving forward? And I pulled the card, Forgiving and Learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And I kind of looked at that and I was like, yeah, I hold grudges. I really do hold grudges, and I can feel that I'm blocking my own union because I'm kind of unwilling to open any further than I have. Does that make sense? I have been willing enough to open to the twin flame journey. I've been willing enough to open up to everyone in the twin flame community, Jeff and Shalia's community. I've been willing to open up to my mom about it. I've been willing to open up to my best friends about it. But that was kind of where my comfort zone stopped. So I stopped. But in order to have union, I have to actually fully decide that I'm actually 100% ready for that reality. Because there's no going back. You can like get together with your twin and fall apart. Sure, but like that's that would be the result of choices being made. So the next card I pulled is It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. This is the block both me and my twin are working on right now. It is the biggest block. It may be the last block, to be honest, before union for us, and maybe for you too. And even if it's not the last block for you, you're watching this for a reason. It is safe for you to love. Before I continue with this, you do not have to be some kind of weird witch lady like myself to know what block you and your twin are working on. All you have to do is figure out what your biggest block to love is right now. And you have identified your twin's biggest block right now as well. It will be expressed differently in both of your realities. For instance, I'm on my end, I am experiencing it is safe for you to love in terms of I'm thinking about past relationships, and this is where the forgiving and learning comes in. I'm thinking about past relationships that didn't work out. I'm thinking about my relationship with my father. I'm thinking about the fact that things with my twin didn't work out the first time. Is it safe to love your twin flame? The answer is yes. Why? Because besides God, it is the only relationship you'll ever have that's eternal. You can have soulmates in the form of family members, best friends, just members of your soul family. You can have them for lifetimes. You can have them for thousands of years. But there probably will come a time when you will part ways when, every soul is so unique and desires so many different experiences that the chances that you and a soulmate will desire to experience the same thing for 10,000 lifetimes in a row, pretty slim. It can happen. I know my best friend is someone who's been in she basically is like a best friend version of a twin flame. If I didn't know for a fact that twin flames were romantic, I would assume that my best friend, who's female, was my twin flame, because we evolve at almost exactly the same rate, and it's just we have a very special bond, and that she's a soulmate, and it's safe to love her as well. It's safe to love anybody, ultimately. But for the purpose of twin flame talk, it's the most safe to love your twin flame. If you're thinking, I'm investing all this energy, time, resources, effort into manifesting union, and they're over there doing that thing, and they won't even talk to me, and why am I doing this? And this is not, I'm crazy. It's the most sane thing for you to do. It's the safest investment to make because it's an eternal relationship. You are investing in your eternal partner, your eternal love. With anyone else, your investment is a gamble, a bit. There are safer gambles. There are more safe gambles than others. For instance, it's more safe for me to invest my time and energy into my best friend / soulmate, soul sister, than it is to a random person on the street. But it is the most safe of all to invest in your twin flame because you share the same soul blueprint. You can't ever separate from them, and you're not separate from them now. It's just an illusion, and it's just because Earth is a little messed up right now. Luckily, it won't be for much longer. So I realized I'm thinking about my exes, and I'm thinking about other situations where I really invested my love and the person left, or it didn't work out between us. And I felt like I lost something. And it made me feel like love was not safe. I also realized that my twin and I, it's come up for me recently that we had a past life, a very recent past life. Perhaps our most recent past life, I'm not entirely sure. But there was a bit of a love triangle situation. And I won't get into the details because it's very personal. But we basically both learned from that past life that we couldn't trust each other anymore. And it's played out again in this lifetime. And when I really tuned in, I realized we were keeping each other at arm's length, and we're putting other people in between us because we're terrified of just being alone together. Because we care too much, and there's so much there, and it's terrifying. And so we keep putting, this happened in our last lifetime together, and it's also being played out in this life together. We have to put other people in between us to feel safe. We need to create like a safety net around us. Like, oh, if it doesn't work out with you, I have this person. Or like, I'm gonna go be with this person because it doesn't feel safe to pursue things with you, even though I would rather do that. So this is the huge thing is I'm working on, me and my twin are both working on fully realizing that it's safe. This is forever. This is not going anywhere. And we can prolong it as long as we want, but why? Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. You can take all the time in the world that you want to heal. And it's totally, you set the pace. And if there are other things involved that are out of your control, like marriages or other relationships that your twin is in, or living situations, just stuff that you can't really control, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because once the choice is full and clear and you're in alignment with God and you have cleared away all the core blocks to union, nothing can stop you. God's the most powerful being ever, obviously. And God created you to be with your twin flame. And it's also God's desire that you be in union. And it's your desire that you be in union. And it's your twin flame's desire that you be in union. So the only thing stopping you are your own blocks to that experience. And once they're clear, it just comes together. And there's nothing that could stop it. I just want to remind everybody, it's safe to love your twin flame. It's okay that you're spending so much time, effort, and energy trying to manifest union. You're not crazy. You're not obsessed. This is your ascension. This is your partner in ascension. This is the love of your life. This is who you're going to be sharing all of eternity with. This is who you have a life purpose with. This is everything. It's not just romantic obsession. It's far beyond that. You're being called home. And it's the safest thing you could ever do. And it's not scary. And if it feels scary, it's because you're projecting onto this things you've experienced in your past. for me is largely to do with my relationship with my dad. It is not safe to invest love in my father. It never was. And I am healing from that. Yeah, I want to see what else comes up. Just if you're having trouble like trusting that this is your twin flame, if you're having trouble trusting the process, talk to me. I have $15 coaching sessions right now. $15 for an hour. I have all my services, all my readings are highly discounted for this first week of April. So it'll be till April 8th. So just I can do childhood healing easier than I can bake a cake. Better, way better. I can't bake anything. I just get distracted and it burns, you know. If whatever upset you're experiencing with your twin flame has nothing to do with them, because there is no them. It's only you, and that's your mirror. So your upset's only ever with yourself, and it's always gonna be a pattern that you're playing out. Okay. It's 9 times out of 10 when I do work with people, it's from childhood. And that's not placing the blame on the parents. It's not finger pointing. You actually, the only way to heal is to have compassion for your parents and figure out why they did the things they did, and understand that that wasn't your fault, and maybe it wasn't ideal, but it's just what happened. And you can't let what's in the past continue to affect you in the present, because the past doesn't exist anymore, you know? Parental wounding is a big thing on this journey. Super big. Doesn't seem like these cards are really talkative right now. They don't really have much else to say besides these things. You have to make the decision to be in union, and you might think that you have already, but the fact of the matter is that if you're not in union, there's a block, you know, because it's natural to be with your twin flame. It's normal. It's your home. It's your homeostasis. It's where you belong. And it's highly uncomfortable to not be in union with your twin flame, because we're not designed to be away from each other. So you really do have to make sure that you've made that choice very deeply, and you're not just spiritual bypassing. And don't forget that you're here to learn. You're here to forgive. You're not here to hold grudges. You're not here to project your problems on other people. You're here to fix yourself and heal yourself and learn from your past relationships and mistakes. The reason it didn't work out with anyone else is because it wasn't your twin flame. The reason it didn't work out with your twin flame before is because you didn't know then what you know now. It's just that simple. There's no mysterious wicked forces or karmic partners or fate or God holding you apart from each other. Your current reality is simply nothing more than the result of your past choices. And at any point in time, you can make a new choice. Any point in time. And remember, it's safe for you to love. If you've been burned by loving people before, if you've experienced people taking advantage of your kind-heartedness and your love, forgive those people for that. They were just looking for love, and you were offering it, and there wasn't a clear boundary, and so they just took what they could get. It's not always evil. It's just, it just is. Forgive yourself also for allowing things like that to happen, not noticing red flags, Forgive yourself for trying to make it work when it wasn't working. Forgive yourself for your insecurities. Just forgive yourself for everything. And if you think that you don't deserve to be forgiven, understand that you are already forgiven by God, and you're just continuing to punish yourself at this point. Religion would have you believe that God is a punisher. But God's not the one that punishes. Humans are. God didn't create separation. Humans did. You know? Just gonna finish up with a card from... So those first 3 cards were from the Romance Angels. And I'm gonna finish up with a card from the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. If a card jumps out, sometimes... Oh, it did. If I'm shuffling for like a minute and no cards coming out, it's just because there's not a message for me in that deck today, you know? You can't force it. So this says, be courageous, truth conquers all. And all I see when I look at this and when I read those words is just it's another way of saying it's safe for you to love. Because being courageous is loving. It's saying, I might have had a million bad experiences in a love relationship before, but you know what? I think this 1,000,001st chance that I'm taking, I think that's gonna be the winner. I think this is my lucky break. I may have had 3 divorces in the past 10 years, but 4th time's a charm. You have to adopt that attitude. You have to, because what is the alternative? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you either choose to be miserable and never try again, or you choose to be courageous. And truth conquers all. Truth is love. Love is the truth of everything. And any external circumstances that seem to be an obstacle, don't let yourself fixate on that. Just don't do it. I'm gonna check the book in case I'm missing a meeting. You can't miss a meeting, but I just wanna... Oh. Knowledge of a situation dispels the fear of the unknown. This will lead to illumination and freedom. It says, wine is strong, the king is stronger, women are stronger still, but truth conquers all. And that's the truth. If you just stay centered in the knowing. I just recently did a session with somebody who kept talking about how all of their physical world was providing evidence to the contrary of what their heart was saying. Like, this guy knows who his twin flame is. But he's receiving all these signs, you would say, from people around him that it's not his twin flame and he needs to let go. The only thing that's telling him it is his twin flame and he shouldn't let go is his heart. And that was the same for me. There was no evidence to support that my twin flame was my twin flame. I just knew it in my heart. My heart was telling me the truth. And it was really hard to look at my reality playing out so differently than what I knew to be true inside. It just... what I think this twin flame journey is about so many different things, but a really big important piece of this twin flame journey is learning how to completely disregard your physical reality. I'm not saying like if someone is throwing a baby out the window across the street, you should not go try to catch it because you're disregarding your physical reality. That was a weird example. Or like, you know, if I don't mean like all this is bullshit. What I am saying is all of this doesn't ultimately matter because it's not the truth. Only love is the truth. Only love exists. Only love is real. And that's not just some hippy-dippy bullshit. It's actually the truth. If people use that to go on to say more bullshit, well, then it's bullshit. But meeting your twin flame and them being in a relationship, being married, telling you they never want to speak to you again, ignoring you for months, you would think that you should listen to what's being presented to you in your reality and move on, right? But your heart's saying no. Hold on. Your heart's saying, wait a minute. Something is not quite right here. Your eyes, you're being shown one thing and you're feeling something different. And I think this is huge on the twin flame journey because it's a tool. It's a learning opportunity to not let yourself be tricked by the illusions of the world as they are right now. We're all living on a prayer here, but it's not silly or foolish. We are just at a huge transitional period where all of what you see is falling away very quickly, and what will remain and stay manifest is what is in everyone's hearts, which is unity, consciousness, world peace, everyone being with their true love, everyone living their life purpose. So we can't focus on what we see anymore. We can't rely on our eyes and our five senses to tell us what reality is anymore. We have to just go by this. Your gut instinct, your intuition, your heart. When you feel something and you know something without knowing how you know it, that's what you need to start relying on. And you use your physical senses to just see how well you're doing at manifesting what's in here. That's all it is. The physical reality is like a little checkup. Like, how am I doing on manifesting the life of my dreams? You take a look around you and you go, oh, well, that's not quite right. And then you go within and you fix that part of you, and it will be reflected back to you differently. So, yes. Make the decision to be in union again. Reclaim your choice. And remember that it is safe for you to move through your blocks quickly. If you want to move through them quickly, because your union is not on any type of specified time frame. Your union is not set to happen on a specific date or during a specific alignment of planets. Your union is set to happen the second you clear the last block to it. So you can go as fast or as slow as you want to. And it's safe to move quickly towards your desire if that's what's in alignment for you. If you're sick of waiting, if you're sick of hoping, just make the decision to clear your blocks really quickly, and it'll happen really quickly. it's safe to drive fast when God's the driver. Okay? You may have been in the passenger seat of a speeding car with a very irresponsible driver before, but that was you choosing to do so and to experience that, to provide you the contrast that led you here to this point where you're making a new choice to go with God, to go with your highest self, to choose your twin flame union, your best friend, your eternal partner. You got in the car with God and you locked the doors, and now He's driving. And it's safe to let Him speed towards your union. It's safe for you to take that journey quickly. I think that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna close off by reading a random passage out of The Bridge Across Forever by Richard Bach. It's a great twin flame book. Just gonna go to a random page and see what it says. Okay, so I'll just look down. Not stocks and bonds and banks. Those weren't what I needed to know. But what this is supposed to feel like, what opportunities beckoned, what little disasters growled near my ankles, what big ones like vultures might be diving for me this moment. Somebody show me what to do, please. I smiled, asking her help. Not since 4th grade had I seen a date stamper clamped to a wooden pencil, and here's one in her hand this minute, today's date. I need a book on how to be a rich person, not how to earn money. Something on what a person is supposed to do when they get a lot of money. So, how to cope with sudden wealth. What I'm getting out of this, and by the way, if you don't understand what I just did, you can speak to God through anything, because God is in all things at all times. So if you ask a question or set an intention, you can pick an oracle or tarot card, you can open up to a book and pick a random page, you can turn on the radio and move through the stations, and you will be provided with the answer you're looking for. Because no question you have will God leave unanswered if you truly want it answered and you're clear about it. What I'm getting out of what I just read is he's trying to learn. He doesn't want to learn, so he's trying to figure out how to make money, right? Or no, he's trying to figure out about being wealthy. And he's saying he doesn't need to know about stocks and bonds and banks. But he wants to know what it's supposed to feel like. He doesn't want a book on how to earn money, but he wants to know what a person is supposed to do once they get a lot of money, like how to cope with sudden wealth. That's so perfect. It's so perfect. Because this whole reading has basically been about, you can decide to be in union, clear the blocks, and then you'll be there. But the reason you haven't done that yet, or have been hesitating, is because you already know the steps, right? He doesn't need to learn how to make money. He doesn't care about that. You don't need to learn anymore what steps to take. You get it. You heal the blocks inside of you and you'll get union. Yeah. But what is it going to be like to be in union? That's the unknown. And that's what seems scary. It's like, I'm comfortable on my ascension path alone. It's like, I've gotten comfortable doing this solo. I don't need to learn any more about how to get into union. I need to know that when I'm in union, then that's going to be really comfortable. I need to know what that feels like. I need to understand what twin flame union is going to be like as a daily experience, because it's like the unknown. It's this huge monumental change you're calling into your life. But that's why it takes so long. That's why there's a journey and a process to it. That's why it's totally at your own pace. Because harmonious twin flame union is a gift that you have to give yourself. No one else can give it to you. You have to decide that you're ready and actually feel that way. It's just like coming into a lot of money all of a sudden. You may have been working towards getting money for a really long time, but then actually getting it is a whole nother thing. I can't tell you from experience what being in harmonious twin flame union is like, because I've only experienced living with my twin flame. We were only romantic for a very short period of time, and then we were friends, and then we had quite a big falling out. So I don't know what that feels like, and it is scary, but it's also not, because all it is living with your best friend. All your twin flame is you in another body. So it doesn't have to be scary. It's not a scary thing. It's actually the most comfortable and natural thing ever. I think we're so used to the dating realm of soulmates and karmic relationships and random one-night stands, and just, it was so unsafe, and it was like a battleground, and it's like, I'm so glad I chose to get out of that. What a waste of time and energy. And it's all gonna lead you right back to your twin anyway. It's safe to be in twin flame union. It's not scary. So choose your union, and if you would like any help on your process, or if you'd like a reading, please visit me at my site. Thanks for watching.